Hello everybody, it's Monday, it's court day for the Mango Moose Knuckle. Good place for them to be too. They're just going to get started doing the jury selection. They've been going back and forth all morning for about 5 or 6 hours. And most of the time Trump was like this. Sound asleep in the chair. But every once in a while he'd wake up and he'd go up there while they're doing sidebars up there. He'd go up and see what's going on. You think he'd be a little more wide awake when this is his presidency? This is everything on the line. But does he care? I don't think so. He just thinks that he's going to get a pass. Anyway, never mind him for now. Let's get on to Mr. Sununu. I was going through the Google and on YouTube last night, and I came across an interview on ABC that George Stephanopoulos was doing with Sununu. Eye-opening, to say the least, and just more hypocritical bullshit, just saying. So anyway, if you're new to this channel, could you consider subscribing? And if you like your family and friends, give it a share. Better yet, if you've got some Republicans in your family and you're not so fond of each other right now, show them this. I've turned a couple people around, I've heard, just saying. But anyway, let's get into this, shall we? Now, Sununu's going to the beach because he's got his flip-flops on. I swear to God, he's got his flip-flops on. The former New Hampshire governor went to the Trump beach party and got hammered on the Kool-Aid again. Not a good look. Now, he was telling the truth about Trump when he was going around with Nikki Haley and I was going to say auditioning with her. Well, kind of, right? When he was campaigning with her and for her. He told all the stuff that Donald Trump was doing, and it was all true, right? Say yes, nod your head. Okay. He said that Trump is a disgrace for attacking and insulting military families. And that's when he said, yeah, so where's her husband at? Where's her husband? Well, Major Haley is deployed in Africa, just saying. So that didn't go over well. Donald Trump is lucky if he can do 2 events a day. She's doing 10 events a day. She loves it, and she loves it because she loves this country, insinuating that Trump doesn't. He's only in it for himself. Making sure we are moving forward and away from Trump and not relitigating the past. Surefire way to lose. That's what happened back in 2022, remember? Remember? We have a lot to make we have got to make sure that Donald Trump isn't elected in November. If anything, he can't win in November. That was January 9th, 2023 on Christiana Amanpour, PBS. And then George Stephanopoulos interview. George says, will your support of Trump continue even if he's convicted in the trial in Manhattan? And he says, yeah, this trial's not going to have major ramifications to people. They just get mad. A lot of these issues. I get dandruff once in a while. That's an issue. Stealing campaign money and swapping it around, that's not an issue. That's a crime. People see this as reality TV at this point. This does nothing to his campaign, even as he spends 3 days a week in a courtroom. I'm pretty sure he's going to be there 5 days a week because that's how he set up his campaign. He's only going to be able to campaign on weekends. George Stephanopoulos says, you're a governor, you're an elected official. Will you be swayed by the conviction, basically? Look, nobody should be surprised that a Republican governor is supporting a Republican president. But he's not president yet. He's a defendant in a criminal trial. You know what the real story is? The average American that has gone from Biden back to Trump. The average American that's feeling inflation and all the other issues, whether there's a conviction or not, we want a culture change. Pay attention to that word. And we'll continue to support former President Trump. That's the real story. Trump is leading in the polls across America, not so much. Biden's up 3 points now. You can't ignore inflation. You can't ignore the issues at the border. And these issues in the courthouse isn't what's going to bring Biden back to office. Want to bet? It's one of them. Okay, so just hold on a minute. Does he not realize that Nikki Haley voters have already come out and said, we aren't voting for him? And even after she got out of the primary, they still put her name on the ballots in tons of other primaries. In New Hampshire and stuff, she took over 40% of the votes away from him at the primary. 40%. That says something. And 25% of them said they would never vote for Trump and would vote for Biden instead. So I think you better switch around there, Mr. Sununu. Trump's telling on himself. So you don't even have to do anything. You don't have to defend him because his big mouth's going. Remember? He's proud that he asked Roe v. Wade. Let's leave it up to the states. Until the states decided to, Arizona stepped up, bring in a law that was in effect when they were still ruled from Mexico, and they weren't even a state. So give your head a shake there. So you left it to the states. Now women have no health care rights in Arizona, unless, of course, they're dying. That's the only exception. So, Chris Sununu, you can't unring that bell. You can't, no matter how hard you try, and he's out there every chance he says, I got rid of Roy. It was me. I put those judges up there. It was me. I got rid of them. I think you can thank Mitch McConnell for that, too, because he's the one that put them forward. Just saying. But anyway, Chris says they want a cultural change in Washington, D.C. Second time, cultural change. And policies that pound down on the American people the wokeness, the fact that liberal elites in Washington want to stand on the shoulders of hardworking American families that built this country and defended this country and tell them how to live their lives. He said that. Now, they're angry, they're upset that that's this cultural change. That's the third time. Time to cement it into your brain now. Courses like Dale Carnegie and stuff like this. If you want to get a point across and get people to remember it, say it 3 times in one little introduction. 3 times. It cements it in there. Goes back as far as politicians in the 20s and 30s. Know who I'm talking about. So yeah, say that 3 times, get it in there, and you know what happens next? That becomes the new catchphrase of the Republicans. Wait for it. You're going to start hearing cultural change in Washington, D.C. That's the new catchphrase, mark my words. So, who's telling who how to live their lives? Seriously? Your party is telling women that they have no rights over their own lady bits. And who is telling LGBTQ families that they can't take care of their families or parent their children properly? Because now in some states, they're going after the parents. If there's a trans kid in the house, they're going to take the other kids away. So yeah, who's telling who how to live their lives? And who's telling parents what their kids will or won't learn in school? Who's doing that? Are you not infringing on everybody else's rights? And who is more concerned about how many dildos you have in your house, or if you're allowed to have any? Alabama. And in case you were wondering, Texas has a limit of 5, just saying. But they're not concerned about guns or anything like that, but they'll tell you how many toys you can have. Not for the, I have a video helping out the Alabama girls. It's not for the faint of heart. You may want to wear earmuffs, but good-natured fun. So are toys. Just saying. Not that I know. Not that I know. And I was watching, I flipped over. I like Luke Beasley, too. That kid's amazing. So how dare you tell people that Democrats are stepping on the shoulders of working families who fought for this country and built it, when you are the ones that are taking everybody's rights away. Just plucking them out, just like those documents. Just pluck them out. Right? So from Luke Beasley's show yesterday, there was a little clip he showed of Chris Sununu from Media ITE. Try to find that. Not sure I did. But anyway, Chris Sununu says this. He said, "We went through a pandemic and the institution stayed strong." Let me put it another way. Assholes come and go, but America is here to stay. The asshole he was talking about is the mango moose knuckle. Yeah. But the flip-flops are on, so Trump's our guy, convicted or not. MSNBC, he said, "This is a problem. All 12 of the other candidates need to cast the same criticism." Yeah, stick together, right? Because it's not like we're out there to beat Donald Trump. Donald Trump doesn't represent the Republican Party anymore. He's the outsider. And we have let him get away with co-opting against our ideals in the Republican Party, against big government, local control, the bitches of Bedlam there, banning books, that would be local control. And he wants to litigate the past. And if we're going to be successful in the Republican Party, we've got to move forward. So which is it? Okay. Sununu says that Trump initiated the overthrow of the government. He is an election denier and didn't do a good job with the pandemic. And now you've tattooed your lips to his ass. It's a little higher on the right or the left? Just want to know. Inquiring minds. Seeing as David Pecker's going to be in the trial coming up as one of the witnesses. So, yeah. So you are going to support him even though he has all those classified documents. And you are going to still vote for him. He said yes, because 51% of Americans like him. No, they don't. Just check out the people just on Haley's campaign. Check out those people and see how much they like him. Just saying. Even if he's convicted of these crimes he's indicted for, you'll still vote for him. Well, he's a Republican. Anyway, that's enough of that shite for today. Naughty Nana loves you. Be good, be safe. Please take care of you. And I don't think Sununu's back in for another term, which is just as well. So, and if he is, Ixnay on the Oatvey. Anyway, Naughty Nana loves you. Don't forget to subscribe.